On the top left corner of the screen, we got Jay playing Nikya of the Old Ways. On the top right corner screen, we got Dina, Soul Steeper, played by Arklo. In the bottom right corner, you have yours truly, and I'm playing Sekk'uar, Deathkeeper. And on the bottom left corner of the screen, we have Lucky Luke playing Arcades the Strategist. So this is one of the most recent Spelltable games that I've played. All these gentlemen have agreed to allow me to record the game and play this game. As you see, Jay playing it out in the Liberator over here. So what I'm planning on doing is playing games on Spelltable, just recording them and uploading the gameplays, just so that when I play my decks, I have the ability to kind of show off how my deck plays against other people, so you'll have an awareness. Get down that land. Because I cast no spell that turn, Jay is actually able to transform his werewolf over there, as you can see. Luke also gets the chance to play a signet and passes the turn over to Jay. And Jay is moving to combat, and as he moves to combat over here, he attacks Arklo. Now on the attack trigger with that werewolf, it actually gives him the ability to destroy target artifacts, which Arklo wasn't too happy about. But I don't think anybody would when you lose your soul ring in the process. That werewolf was pretty good. They printed like a bunch of good werewolves in that last set. So we're gonna have Jay remind Arklo about that soul ring as he casts his Dina. So now we got one commander in play. He shifts the turn down to me, and I just play this forest, and all I'm really looking to do is just get down this creature that I have in my hand that I can pay for 3, which is Emrakul's Evangel. Not really the most ideal situation to be playing the Emrakul Evangel, but I just gotta get something down on the board early. Luke gets his commander down on the board. I had a couple enchantments inside my hand, but because of that werewolf that Jay has, I never had the ability to play them. And because of that, he he attacks Arklo and destroys his other artifact. So he gets down to land and he plays a Prowling Superpod, which basically makes his spells uncounterable. However, in this format where there's no blue, I don't think Jay would have much to worry about. Arklo gets to throw a Parasite down on the board, and then I untap and start my turn. Get that land down, and I'm pretty sure I play an enchantment here. No, I don't play an enchantment. I play a Grim Harrowspex, okay, which basically just allows me to draw cards when creatures go away. See what Luke does here. An Overgrown Battlement. So what I'm noticing with Arcades is every time he plays a defender, it actually allows him to draw a card. So you'll see turns with Luke later where he's just constantly playing defender after defender after defender, drawing many cards per turn. It's pretty cool. So he taps 5, casts his commander, and in response, Arklo actually casts Poison the Cup to destroy his commander immediately. So Jay's commander is gone from the game and he passes the turn here. So Arklo casts a Succumb to Temptation, which allows him to draw 2 cards and lose 2 life, and then he passes the turn over to me. Tap. Pretty sure I missed my land drop that turn. I played an Elemental Bond. I ended up sacrificing the Evangel to itself, creating a 3/2 token so that I can draw a card off the Harrowspex, looking for a land. And I'm pretty sure I didn't find a land, but instead of the Evangel, I end up getting a 3/2 Eldrazi token in its place, so I get a creature out of it, which allows me to draw a card as well off of the Elemental Bond. And then I draw no card, or I play no land again because I drew no land, unfortunately. Okay, there's the Resolute Watchdog. He gets to draw a card. Another land. Or the land I wish I had. There's an Arcade Signet. I'm not even going to put the picture out for the Signet over here. Everybody knows what that card is. What's he got going on over here? Oh yeah, well, He plays the Reflections. Reflections Lid Jar is a GG card. So he's going to combat. He's attacking Jay with his commander. So now Jay takes 3 commander damage from the Flying Dragon. So because he cast 2 spells that turn, Jay's werewolf is actually going to transform back into a human. So Jay casts a Cemetery Prowler and targets my Emrakul's Evangel, which exiles my creature from my graveyard. Which basically allows Jay to then reduce his mana cost of his creatures by 1 because he exiled a creature from a graveyard. Arklow gets down a Well-Wisher, which he can tap to gain 1 life. And then passes his turn. You finally get a tap land into play. No red mana. Then I cast this. Nice, I get down the Sacred Tribe Elder, hopefully to get a mountain at some point in the future. And then I also cast Evolutionary Leap. That Evolutionary Leap, I think inside my deck, unfortunately, does more bad than good. Notice that Jay sacrificed his werewolf over there to take out the Reflections of the Jar, which is probably a good idea. Wall of Mulch. Let's draw 1 card. A Wall of Frost. Draw another card. Adding 4 green mana to his mana pool. 2 of it, he casts a Consulate Skygate to draw a card. Then uses the other 2 to cast a Primal Rage, which gives all of his creatures trample. And he moves to combat. Let's see what he does. He's attacking me with the Arcades, which I just take the 3 because I have no way to block that damage, unfortunately. Let's see what Jay's got. So Nikya is back in the game. I'm pretty sure that land taps for 2. So he gets 3. And he casts a Rex Sage to destroy the Primal Rage. Alright, he passes a turn. Now we go to Arklow. And he plays a Paradise Bloom. So now, whenever somebody casts a green spell, he gets to gain 1 life. And at the end of Arklow's turn, I sacrifice the Sakura Tribe Elder to grab the mountain to then trigger the Grim Haruspex to then draw a card. So you tap 2, and play a Treasured Find. I'm pretty sure I grab the Sakura Tribe Elder again. So I end up passing the turn there. Taps 2 for a Stalwart Shield Bearers, which is just going to give all of his creatures +0/+2, which is essentially buffing their power because of Commander. He casts a Wall of Runes, which allows him to scry 1, so he's going to scry 1. I'm pretty sure he keeps that card and draws that card. Yeah. Man, watching these games, hindsight is always 20/20. He casts a Marble Titan, which creatures with power 3 or greater don't untap during their control's untap steps, which I don't think affects me too much. So he's attacking with Consulate Skygate, Arcades, Wall of Frost at Arklow for 18 damage. And Arklow, I'm pretty sure, takes all of the damage over here in this instance and blocks none of it. So Multani is on the battlefield. Taps a little mana. So at this point, we're all losing life one by one for each green spell is being cast as well. I think that's important to keep in mind. He plays a Regal Behemoth, which gives him the Monarch and also doubles his mana again. It's not really doubles his mana, but gives him an extra mana when he taps it. So he casts a Journey to Eternity onto his Dina over here. And then he extorted the cast for the Journey to Eternity, which gains him some life and forces everyone to lose more life, unfortunately for us. So during Arklow's end step, I sacrifice the token to the Evolutionary Leap, and I reveal a Death Tyrant off the top of the library. Yeah, if you don't got your hands on a Death Tyrant is a great card. I'll tell you, Death Tyrant is awesome. If you haven't picked up one of those cards, next time you order something from Card Kingdom, I highly suggest that you order a couple copies of Death Tyrant. Shout out to Card Kingdom. So I played that, draw a card off the Elemental Bond. Had to go to discard, and then I passed the turn over to Luke. I probably should have sacrificed the Sacred Tribe Elder there, but hindsight is always 20/20. The Wall of Tanglecord he plays. Draw a card. Another wall, I'm assuming, to draw a card. A Wall of Denial to draw a card. Yeah. A 0/8. Okay, moving to combat over here. So he's attacking Jay with a 0/6, a 0/9, and a 0/8. So Jay ends up blocking with the Prowler, the Rex Sage, and the Serpapod. So he takes 0 damage and keeps his Monarch. And that triggers my Death Tyrant, which gives me 3 2/2 zombies. Jay ends up casting a Runic Armosaur here and an Eternal Witness to grab his Werewolf from the graveyard again. So I'm pretty sure he grabbed that werewolf so he could sack it again at some point to destroy one of the enchantments. It passes the turn there. Arklow's gonna tap the Wellwisher to gain a couple. I think it gains 2 life over here, and then everybody else loses a life. It's just a story of this game for Arklow, just sitting back and just dealing damage little by little. Every game that I've played against Dina Soul Steeper, I've always lost. So we got Dina. So I reveal off of the Evolutionary Leap, and I get a Elvish Reclaimer here. Tapping 2. See what I play here. Oh, I don't even play a card. I foretold a card. I wonder what that is. I think I tap 3 and I play the Elvish Reclaimer, yeah. I think I look at the top card of my library. Yeah, looking through. I'm pretty sure within those 5 cards I see my win condition, but the only thing I can grab is a land, unfortunately. And then I sigh and shuffle and put those cards in the bottom because there goes my win condition. And then I pass the turn. I think sometimes you just got to get ramp right. I definitely didn't get the ramp right with my commander deck, unfortunately. Here's a Roiling Regrowth. Speaking of ramp, he's going to combat here. So Arcades is going to Arklow. Those 3 creatures are going towards Ark. Whoa. Okay, Wall of Frost and Arcades are going to Arklo. Wall of Runes is going to me, so I get a 0/6, and all the other creatures are going to Jay. So now Jay's figuring out how he's gonna assign blocks, and I'm pretty sure Jay here blocks 2 creatures, sacrifices his werewolf to destroy one of the artifact creatures that are attacking him. So I think out of this, Jay ends up taking no damage but loses 3 creatures. I think Arklo ends up blocking with his Dina, which is going to trigger or create the Journey to Eternity, and that's going to flip into that enchantment. And then I end up blocking with the Elvish Reclaimer over here. Yeah, there's the Dina. Yeah, sometimes you just really need to cast a Bane of Progress or something. Just being able to just destroy all enchantments, I think, really resets the game sometimes. I mean, it would have taken out a ton of my own enchantments, but I think it definitely would have helped in the long run. So we got a Vigor over here for Jay. Vigor is a fun card. And Jay also casts Whip Tongue Hydra. I think he did it so that he could take out Luke's commander over here, but Luke in response ended up casting a Jeskai Barricade, which basically allows him to bounce his dragon back to his hand. Which is actually wild because now his creatures have no power because they're all defenders, they're all walls. Which ends up being really relevant at some point. So, Jay casts a Clouth. And Jay had a bit of confusion here, and I think most people would, honestly, we're all human. That Clouth's triggered ability creates mana, but you can only use that mana to cast spells, not to activate abilities, unfortunately, which Jay had the impression that he was able to activate abilities, unfortunately, which is why he committed so heavily to this attack, I think. So he ended up singing all of that at Luke. And I'm pretty sure Luke blocks all of it and takes 0 damage from this, unfortunately for Jay. I think Jay was under the assumption that he was going to be able to activate his Kessig Wolf run. And after that combat, he casts a Temur Sabretooth with that mana from Clouth, and then passes the turn. Arklo again, dealing 1 damage to everyone. The Well-Wisher. You can see on the bottom left corner over there that the Journey to Eternity triggered when the Dina went to the graveyard after the block and came back. So he casts a Chalice of Life and Veto, so now we're taking even more damage, unfortunately. Down to 14 life. Yo, all those pings really add up over time. So Sacred Tribe Elder, I sacrificed to draw me a card off of the Grim Haruspex over here. See, the whole point of this deck is I'm really searching for my win conditions. A way to turn all the lands into creatures, and then a way to reap the benefits of that. So I cast Sekk'uar over here, and then I also go to combat and I attack Jay with 6 zombies here. Just because, in retrospect, this was a bad attack here, honestly. I should have swung the 6 zombies at Arklo to bring down his life total a bit, because Luke's creature should have been able to take out Jay regardless. So I end up losing 3 zombies from attacking Jay, and then Death Tyrant triggers and gives me 3 more zombies. So what's Luke doing over here? So Luke ends up casting a Dusk, and in response I cast a Rise of the Dreadmarn. And I think there were about 11 creatures that went away that turn, so I end up creating 11 zombie tokens off of the Rise of the Dreadmarn trigger. And then Luke ends up going to combat, attacking Jay with one creature, and then swinging all the rest of his creatures at Arklow. But Arklow's in a position right now where he's actually able to gain enough life to just remove Luke from the game. And what Luke ends up doing is he ends up sacrificing all of his own... Yeah, he ends up sacrificing every single one of his own walls over here and draws a card for every wall that he sacrifices. So there's one, draws a card. So by the end of this, what ends up happening is that Arklow doesn't even end up getting attacked, really. Luke just ends up drawing a ton of cards. But that one wall creature, the Resolute Watchdog, is still going at Jay. So Jay's unfortunately going to get taken out of the game here. So there's the Wall of Frost, sacrifice, drew a card. Draw another card. Honestly, I would have preferred Luke to just swing out here and actually get taken out there, because I think that he ends up gaining some life and just starts pinging me, as opposed to pinging Luke and taking him out. But it is what it is. But I got an army of zombies here. I got a lot of power on my board. So I think these two are discussing... Yeah, so now he starts pinging me. So I take one, Luke takes one. He gains another life. So Luke's gonna go down to 2, unfortunately. So now on Arklow's next turn, because of the Palace Siege, Luke loses the game. Like, Luke's done. And then he casts a Fell the Mighty. So he ends up just wiping the board of all the creatures. And now there's literally nothing left on the board. And now I lose all my zombies. Arklow loses his creatures. That was I think that play right there was the turning point of the entire game. Because... I mean, you'll see in a second here. So, because Luke was the Monarch, Arklow becomes the Monarch. And now he's just gonna tap and cast his... He's just gonna cast his commander here. Then he's gonna pass the turn to me. Pretty sure he made me lose a life at some point there. Yeah, there it is with the chalice. Then it's gonna go back to my turn. I draw. I'm really just trying to keep Dina off the board. I cast a Putrefy over here to take Dina out of the game. And then just doing what I can to figure out a way to gain some life. And I had a Pulse of Marasa in my hand, I believe. And I used that to gain a certain amount of life, 6 life, I think it was, to then grab the Sacro Tribe Elder. Which unfortunately, I don't think is going to be doing too much for me right here. And what I end up doing is I tap that, I cast the Yavimaya Elder. And then I pass the turn over there, hoping that I could just gain a little bit more life to keep myself in the game for a little bit more. It starts his turn. I lose 2 life off of the Palace Siege. He gains 2 life. And he draws. Pretty sure he just activates the Cave of Eternity to reanimate his Dina, which he could just continuously do over and over again. Taps Chalice of Life, which is then going to give him a life, which is going to lose me a life. And he passes a turn over to me. And I still need to figure out a way. I cast a Moldavine Reclamation so that I can gain some life. I sacrifice the Elder here so that I can gain 1 life off of the reclamation, grab a couple lands. I put that swamp into play, I'm pretty sure, then I cast a ruinous path to take out Dina again over here. Which takes out his commander, and it's a black spell, so I didn't end up losing life out of that, but what you'll end up finding out is that it really didn't even matter, honestly. So he untaps, he draws. He actually said he had this card in his opening hand, which I thought was pretty cool, that he finally got to use it. So he taps here, and that's it.
Yeah. I've had this on my hand the entire time, and I was just waiting for just to use it. GG.
Yeah, like, I think that board wipe at the end actually gave Coach the chance to come back.